So hello, my name is Adam Bean and welcome to my session playing with the Nashorns and ITKonekt conference. Live streaming session. And it's a part of the ITKonekt conference. So it's 15 minutes later, but seems like the conference is lots of fun. So let's do some Java 8 and JavaScript, and I would try to actually to avoid Java E this time. You can ask me questions on Twitter. So use the hashtag earhacks or ITKonekt, so whatever you like. And if you like, you can also connect via IRC and then just ask questions about whatever you like. It could be Java 8, Nashorn, or even Java EE. So let's start with the extensive slides. So playing with the Nashorn. So who am I? I'm a Java enthusiast. So what it means, I really like Java. I started with Java in 1995, and it's getting more and more exciting. So at the moment, when I think I got it, so the new stuff is coming out. So this is never getting boring with Java. What makes me stick to the programming language, and I write a blog, which is more or less a notebook, and I think 4 times a year I organize workshops at Munich Airport. So I'm the organizer and how it's called, teacher or instructor, whatever you call it. So I hacked lots of Java E, HTML5, JavaScript stuff. So if you like, come to Munich, and I think some people were already there. So and Airhacks New. Airhacks News is just my meta mailing or spamming list. So what I'm doing right now, I just send once a month a mail about such events like this, for instance, live streaming, or some new Java user group stuff. So 2 books somehow relate to the topic. So are mostly about Java. In this book, I also explain one of the pattern how to embed JavaScript called fluid logic. So you can look at this if you like. And I think in end of May, first Monday of the month, there is question answer show. So if you have unanswered questions about Java, Java E, or whatever, just tune in to ERX TV. This is actually the same channel as you watching me right now. And the workshop dates. So there's next is in July, and any questions, or ask questions if you have any. But because this is the last slide. So this was thank you and see you, right? And the reason why I'm so fast with the slides is because I would like to open the IDE. So let's start with the fun. I'm just looking briefly at the questions, and you still don't have any questions, which is actually good and bad news. So it's good news because there was no content right now, and bad news probably. You didn't got the channels right. So what I did, I started a NetBeans Development Edition. So I think it's from this week. And why? Because it comes with better JavaScript support, debugging, and I would like to use it. But let's start. So my plan is to show you 2 sides of Nashorn, from the Java side and from the JavaScript side, and then even from the command line side. So let's start with Java. And I would like to start with a Maven project. So Maven, not archetype, just regular Java project. And I will call it ITKonekt. What is it? Connect 1. So finish. So what I did, I created a standard Maven project, so nothing special in it. So what I just would like to do is to use Java 8. So this is the only adjustment I will make. And what I like to do is to create a JUnit test class, and the class is playing with Nashorn's test. And my package is com.airhacks, because I'm not sure com ITKonekt would also work. Wait a second. Com ITKonekt, this should be your page. So finish. Select. So, and what just happened behind the scenes here, NetBeans just added the dependency to JUnit and Hemcrest. I don't even need Hemcrest, should be sufficient. Okay. So in unit test, what I would like to do is to set up init and use before. So script engine. Oh, to the organizers, you can bring me some Coke if you like. This would be nice. Or send me via Twitter. Script engine manager. New script engine manager. So my attempt is now to include Nashorn via Java. And this is absolute nothing new. So if you look at this, it was introduced in JDK 1.6. By the way, one of the guys is working on Nashorn from this origin team, but this is so-called a scripting library. It came in JDK 1.6. So we have the script engine manager, and now we can pull the Nashorn manager, get engine, get engine by name. JavaScript is okay. I think JS would also work. And then I can just fetch the engine, this engine, and I would like to use a field. And I could say test setup, and it should work in case assert not null, this engine, of course. So this is important. But in JDK 1.7, you would get back Rhino, and what we like to have is to have Nashorn. So what we could do, assert that, or let's do it shorter. This engine get class, get name, contains Nashorn. And probably lowercase would be also nice. To lowercase contains Nashorn, and make an import. So let's see whether it works. So open. So it is green. Green means so far so good. So what we got, we had we know that the engine is set up. What we also know is that the name of the engine is at least Nashorn. Okay, so let's do something fancy. So what we can do is hello. We can say hello to Nashorn. So test. And the best of all, there are no external dependencies. So you can just use Java 8. So and you don't have to add any additional libraries. So this engine, we can say eval and say here print hello. And of course we have throw some exceptions. So run it. And by the way, this exception is pretty useful. So it contains line number, column number, and script name. So so this is a checked exception, but this is really worth to extract the data from the exception. But see whether we'll find something. So output hello. Seems to work. So now I just go to any questions? No questions. No questions, just statements. Coke. Thank you, Mirko, for the Coke. So it worked. So you see, everything is virtual, even a Coke. So this engine eval print hello. So it printed something out. And of course, what you could do, you could say this engine eval. I think I never tried that, but this is a little bit, let's do 42 just for the beginning. And of course, red val, you will see an object with the value 42. Output 42. So what it means, the engine can also give something back, and it's going to be converted to a Java object, and the type is get class. So look at this, properly integer. So integer, yes. So now the question is, how to interact with the engine. So what you could do, is say this engine dot put, and let's say Duke 20 years. So what I could do right now is say 42 plus Duke. And you see there's not no string, it's just plain Duke. And because it's JavaScript, or not just because JavaScript, it should work. So let's see, red val is now string. So it was changed to this, and the red val is class first, so a string, but let's see the value. So I'll just repeat this. So 42, 20 years. So seems to work. So what it means, you can pass whatever objects you like to JavaScript. It could be even a Java object. And why it is useful, imagine the following. What we did in some Java projects, we passed an JPA object graph to Nashorn, and we use the scripts for object validation, which is actually very useful. So what we have to Duke with a new date, and let's say 42 plus date, and you will see probably something like 42 and the current date. So look at this, and not a number, which is actually also JavaScript. So what it means, the coercion didn't work, so it was impossible to add date to 42, which is actually true. But you see, I can pass, so we say Duke to string. This should work again. Okay. This works. So this was extreme basic stuff. So now do something more fancy stuff. Let's say useful interfaces, because interfaces are not always useful. Sometimes they are just for the sake of ivory towers, but this time should be useful. Let's imagine I would like to implement runnable in Nashorn. So how to do this? It's possible actually. So I would just create a method which returns runnable, get runnable, and what we can do with the Nashorn engine was to name the engine. So we can say the engine, and we have to cast it to invocable, which also comes with JDK 1.6. So what actually only comes with Java 8 is the JavaScript implementation, and JDK 1.6 introduced the whole scripting API. Invocable, and we should be able to cast it because Nashorn is invocable. So now I can say invocable dot get interface, and what we like to return is runnable.class. So now the question is, so obviously Nashorn is able to implement Java interfaces. The question is, how the implementation looks like. And now comes the crazy stuff. So what we can do, we can say engine eval function of the name of run with the name of run. There is no parameters. And now we can say print running like hell. So should work, of course, some exceptions. And now we can fetch the runnable here and throw some exceptions and say run.run. Oh, this is stupid. So we just make runnable.run. And hopefully, or of course, before we do this, some test, assert not null, runnable. So run it. So, and what you see, running like hell. The interesting part is, what is it? So let's look at this and save and rerun. So, and you can see JDK Nashorn Java adapter Java lang runnable. So it has something to do with Nashorn. And this is extremely useful because what you could do right now is, for instance, you could just store in a central database scripts. In this scripts could be executed on the fly, and they could be like cleaning jobs or whatever. And this of course has to be sanitized and with, for instance, a unit test. So I will just briefly look at the stream. Is the validation, so Mirko asked me, is the validation similar to Play Framework JSON reads writes since it has automatic serialization? So what I meant by the validation is we just implemented algorithms in JavaScript which validated the JPA entities. What you can of course do is you can include this to bin validator, so it doesn't matter where it is executed. So, and now we have here more tags. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Oh, I see myself. This is like a recursion, you know. So, no questions. So we got this. And now I show you an abbreviation of this or variation of this example. It is with Java 8, combination Java 8. So what I sometimes do, I show lambdas, or let's say streams. So let's. I would need a object. I called it hacker, and the hacker has a name. And age. And needs constructor to be born, and some getters to be caught. Okay, now what you could do, you could say list of hackers. Oh, hackers, so we have to write it like this. New array list. And now you can say hacker, and chief hacker is of course Duke, and it is 20 years old, of course. And the other one is, can we have, oh, let's say I'm also a hacker, so I am just 22 years old, let's say this. And of course, ITKonekt is just family of hackers, and you are probably, I would say, 18 years old. So, what we can do right now, we can say hackers. So this has nothing to do with hackers. So stream. So I got a stream, and I would like, you know, to filter all hackers with what? Oh, all hackers with D in it. So f.getName contains D. And unfortunately, does not ITKonekt. So, and then I have filtered. Now I can map to int the contents. And what I like to do is age.get age, and then can say average age. So now we have nice lambda expression of all hackers, average age of the hackers. Of course, this you get optional. So it's say in case there are no hackers with the name D, I would like to give 0 back, which is the average date. So let's try this. Is it save streams? So what's wrong with this? Average age, not date, but should still run. Average date, yeah, 21. It should be average age, of course, no date. So 21, which is quite true in the Java land. So on average, we are about 20 some years. So average a date. No idea why I wrote date. Okay, and now let's say we would run against Hazelcast, Infinispan, and to change the filters or mappers, we would have to, redeploy the server over and over again. So what you can do, you could just rewrite this and say this is a predicate. As you can see, predicate. So you can say this is a predicate of type hacker, and say filter And this is actually the implementation of this predicate. So this is the same code. And then say filter here. So I just extracted this because what I would like to do is I could now say, okay, I would like to keep this flexible and say get filter from Nashorn. And here is my code. So what I would like to do is I just have to remember this is our filter. So and I will need this code again. So of course what I would like to return is predicate. And this is function, I think the name is test. So predicate has a method test. Input is h, and then we could say something like return h.getName contains. Actually, this would also work. And this time IT or I. It's good enough. I think exception again, right? Exception. So we have engine predicate from Nashorn, and this has to throw exception as well. So what we are able to do, we can write ad hoc filters, which is quite useful. So run it, right? Run it, streams test. And what you will find out of, hopefully, that average age is now 18 because only the developers from ITKonekt are participating in the survey, and not Duke and also not me. So I think this is pretty useful, and this is exactly what I do in my blog. So I have some queries, and they are just pushed to Hazelcast. And by the way, this is also moving code. You could store it in a grid. It's just a string. You don't have to distribute classes. I think I have a question here, or at least it looks like. Can we, do you think we can bring, okay, one question is, since you can define some logic in JS, do you think we can bring React.js to Java with Nashorn? And I think so, because there is React.js native or something, and they implemented bridge to Java or JavaFX. So I think it would work. So what you can do is Nashorn as well. You can include, and I will show you this in a second. You can include or load external Java libraries, which are ECMA compatible. So it's actually ECMA compatible. So what I do is I loaded Mustache, for instance, was no problem. It worked. But what you don't have is the DOM. So what you will need is you have to create your own virtual DOM structure or something. And of course, what you could do, you can create your own DOM, wrap it, for instance, Swing or JavaFX application, and use jQuery to manipulate Swing. So it would work. Okay, thank you for the question. No questions? This is, okay, no questions so far, which is nice. I think we are done with the, or what I would also like to, what you can do, there is compilable. So you can write a Nashorn script and cache it. So it's also possible for performance reasons. Yeah, so this is also possible. So this was the view Nashorn to Java, and we have just 20 minutes left. So now do just plain Nashorn. So I will start a library project, and I will call this Java library, and this is ITKonekt lib. Wow, lib. So we have this, and this is one of the reasons why I'm using NetBeans Daily, because this support comes with daily, and the regular NetBeansters is not in this, I would say, quality. So what I got, I just a JavaScript project, and what I could do is, I need just another editor, because my clipboard doesn't work always. So what I wanted to do is to paste this, and what this is JJS is the interpreter. And if you have Java 8, it's already installed in a machine. And this is actually extremely useful. So what you can do, you can use Nashorn as a system language. So it will replace your shell, Z shell script or batch file. So just to show you that it works, print hello from command line. And yeah, let's run it. Run file. And hello from command line. So this is Nashorn. And the cool story is, wait a second, what I would like to do, terminal. So I can go to the workspaces and junk. This is my current workspace, and we are in TS-lib, I think. No, we are in ITKonekt lib. CD ITKonekt lib. Yes. And in source folder, you will see main.js. So what I would like to do is to say chmod a plus x main.js. So and now I can say main.js run. And you see the Nashorn full version 1.8.31 is my current version, and this comes from the -v flag. So what you can do, you can just output the Java version, and this is just the output. So of course I can integrate with Java. So this is now the integration in the different direction. I can say no, this is nicer. Date new. No, let's do this way. Java util date. And this is the dangerous part, or the dangerous way. What you could also do, I'll show in a second. I could say, I would like to integrate it here and say new date. So, and run it again. So just to show you here and see, hello from command line and the date from Java. Why it's dangerous? Because if Nashorn wouldn't be able to find the class, it will assume it's a package. So the little bit less dangerous way is to use Java type and this as a string. So it will then create a class, which I will show you, print date. So you see Java class, Java util date, hello from is the same output. And this is actually nice. You can construct your own strings with placeholders. So this is nice. So I will just look briefly at the questions, and I don't think any questions. No question, no question, no question, no question in IRC. So lazy IRC, and Twitter is really nice because I even got a Coke. So now still boring because it is not too much stuff for automation. But what you could do is, for instance, I could say, I would like to see my file system. So let's do this, or not a file system, let's execute top. And then I could print and say, I would like to see the output. Output, sorry. Run it. It's safe. What's wrong? Oh, it just doesn't exit. This was a bad idea. As you can see, this was the ls-al. So this is what you can do with for the automation, and of course even more interesting. I'm just thinking about whether I have somewhere a. Let's do this. So ITKonekt. This is the page, and what we could do, we could say, I would like to have curl this page. And now I saw your page. And this is a little bit boring because it's just HTML. If this were JSON, I could just, include here, I would just show you this. JSON attempt. I could try to do this and say JSON I think it was, let's try this one. Parse, yes, this was the right one. And I try to parse it. It won't work, of course, because not JSON, but you should get the idea. And then we'll just try to output this. What I do, for instance, I implemented with Nashorn, and you see here invalid JSON, expected JSON literal, but found something. So from doc type, so it's not a JSON. But the great story is what you get back here from Nashorn is JSON, native JSON object in JavaScript, and you can just, without any further parsing, you can just iterate over the structure and extract things. I do it a lot with to monitor my Docker containers. So I use very similar script, very similar idea. So this is the automation. So now the problem, as you saw, what I would like to do is I would like to use the script, test it, and then install it in my path. And for this purpose, I use gulp. So I would just delete this, and I use it a lot. So this is why I created a template. And what it actually does is it watches my source.js, and on each change, it copies the script to use as a beanwork scripts, which happens to be in the path. So I would try to launch it. So now it started gulp from NetBeans, and now I can go to my junk folder and just say, or not even to any folder I like, and say main.js, and it works. So which is really nice. I think it's different main.js. Let's see. It's different one. So perform a change. Save. And you see on save it copied. Now I'll try it. Yeah, now it's our script. So this is how I work with system scripting. So I just save and automatically installs the script on my machine, and then it becomes immediately available. And what also great, so I can even set up a breakpoint here and say, go here and say debug, and I can step over the code and debug the code, which is actually even nicer. And this is the actual reason why I'm using Nashorn, because I wrote some complex bash script and there was really no way to find out what's going on there. So you see, I can get here. I see this is the Java class statics, so I can browse through the code, so you see what's going on. So, and there is even one useful project in my repository. I'll show you this. GitHub. And it's called SPG. And what it is static page generator. So they're written with Nashorn from command line. So the main idea is that I have an input, which is a JSON, a template, which is HTML, and it creates, it merges both to adjust this index. Looks like this. So there are placeholders, and uses mustache for this. And JSON, it just defines the placeholders, and the output is just HTML with the output. So the nice story is I use it a lot. For instance, if the date of the workshop changes, so you see here workshop SPG, static page generator, and there is a script called gen.sh, and it just executes spg.js with input and the output and opens the folder. So if I will start it, it will just generate all the pages and open it. So if you go to the Bootstrap, you will see Bootstrap with the new date July. So this is what I use it, because prior to this, I had to find all occurrences of the date, and this is here in the overview and in the form. And with SPG, it works a lot nicer. And what also such a static page generation is useful for, if you have to generate invoices or some overview contracts, whatever. So you can just hire designers to do this. And some project we even generated application server configuration. So it also worked well. So we just looked at the questions again. So what's wrong with you? No questions. Lazy audience. No. besides dynamic scripting and using native JS libs like handlebars, what other scenarios you would use Nashorn for? Jenkins automation, Docker monitoring, what I use right now, validation, then project Enhydrator is like ETL. So I go to the my GitHub repository. The name of the project is Enhydrator. And this is like integration project, so you can define flexible, there's table input, table output, and you can define the mapping. It's just Java 8 without any dependencies and Nashorn. So I'll go here. Project is called Enhydrator. It is not well documented yet, but I will do it soon. So it is Enhydrator. Enhydrator. Yes, here is it. It's like transformers. So look, it's, I would say, it's about, there's code coverage about 80 to 90% or whatever, with lots of tests. So look at this, and what is able to do, for instance, converts JSON to CSV or whatever, and it uses Java 8 functions which are implemented with JavaScript, and so the whole pipeline is very flexible. Okay, I hope you are satisfied with the answer. So no questions? No questions left. So what you can, of course, also do here, you have you can access environment entries, env, and let's do it. Run. So there's an object, it's a good sign. So what you could do, you can say for e in env print, and e would be the key, and env of e the value. It's just a JavaScript loop. And what you should do here, as you can see, I just output all the system environment entries. So what is useful for to find the working directory, or to check the environment. So we can do some of my clients using Nashorn to implement install script, portable install scripts for Java application servers for products. Okay, so we are actually pretty far. So we have Gulp, and what I would also do, I would like to show you with WebStorm. So I switch between NetBeans, WebStorm, and IntelliJ just for fun. And so there should be, I think, the SPG code there. Yes. And it is a mix of Java. So as you can see, so it just parses the arguments first, and the arguments are available with arguments no length, and you can access the arguments, so there's no surprise here. What's surprising, what I do here, I'm loading Mustache, and the Mustache is just the JavaScript library directly downloaded from the internet. So there's this just a standard JavaScript templating library, so nothing special with it. And as you can see, I just added some Java classes, and in one point of time here I invoke mustache render, and what I'm doing, I'm passing the content and the parameters, and what I get back is the output, and the output is written to the file, and this is what the SPG generator is doing, just with 80 lines of code, which is extremely convenient for me. Okay, so I think we have just a few minutes left, and I will show you the last. Mirko is very skeptical to mix both, but sometimes I would say what I show you right now, I'm using this actually in enterprise projects, and the problem with Java is type safe, and sometimes you have to have dynamic behavior. For instance, formula evaluation. And what we did, we misused back then how it's called Rhino, and right now Nashorn for evaluation of flexible stuff. and this was way stable, or way more, how it's called, sane, than implemented your own language using parser generators or whatever. So this is Entler, for instance. So I was once hired to help with Entler, and ended introducing Nashorn. Also, to give you an example, one of Java ETH 7 startups called ITKonekt, a few weeks back, he asked me to help with implementation of an algorithm, and the problem he had is there are campgrounds around the world, and each campground would like to have different algorithm to compute the price depending on the how it's called, occupation of the camping ground. And he implemented the algorithm using Java, we know, with switch case. And with Nashorn, each campground owner could just implement own algorithm in a database, and was extremely flexible. So it could be also used now for integration for flexible algorithms. Just works. And for the stability, what we always do, we use the Nashorn script. We load it in a unit test as a Java interface, and then if the unit test passes, we write it down to the database. So it shouldn't be, you should never execute Nashorn scripts as user input, of course. So in the last thing I would like to show you, so what Nashorn is able to do, it accepts class path here. So what it could do, this is the last thing, I would just create a Maven project with Java application, and the name of the Maven project would be ITKonekt jar. And JDK18. And let's say we would like to use JAX-RS2 client in Nashorn. So just a hack, what JAX-RS step. So what you will need is, the JAX-RS2O implementation, which is Jersey here, and the JSON mapping, and there's JSON processing and the mapping between both. So now it is. But the problem is, if I build this, you won't get, you will have to include an whole array of dependencies to Nashorn. So what I do instead is I do the following. So I introduced the build tag with a nice final name, and I will call it javalib. And then there is a plugin called Shade. And the Shade here just excluded JUnit. So, and if I execute this, what it will do, it will pool all the dependencies and create one single jar, which can be easily included to Nashorn. So if I go here, you will see here javalib, and it contains all the classes. So just to show you that it actually works, so I will go to the terminal here. And so what is cd ITKonekt jar target ls and print working directory. So we just fetch this. And now I can go to Nashorn and say -cp. Oh, I have to use the, always forget this, copy. So this is this. And the name of the jar was, I think Java jar. Was it this? Javalib. Java jar would be completely strange. So javalib.jar. So, and now try something. So I will just go here and say, I would like to have Java type. And the type is what? JavaX WRS client builder. So it should be JavaX WSRS client builder, var client builder. and then say print client builder, run it again, and hopefully it will work. If not, we don't have the time to fix it. This is the nice story. Talking at conference. So, and what you get, class not found exception. What was the problem? I think Jax JavaX WS RS client builder. It actually looks right. And what is the I think we just build it again, but it actually should work. And I think it worked, right? Otherwise you wouldn't get lots of stuff going on. So you should shorten the ITKonekt page. Now we have the envs and should start with Java class. As you can see, it was loaded. So we have the client builder, and now we can say client builder, new client, and initiate a REST communication, not with curl, but using just plain Java. So I hope it was useful. So I will just go to the questions because the time is over. So I only had 45 minutes. So this is what I could show you in this time. And thank you for watching, and see you at upcoming conferences. EHEX in Munich in July, if you like. So there were already some people, even from Belgrade, I think. And yeah, if not, I will probably attend Java 1. So meet you there, or whatever, projects, GitHub, you know, the social network for developers. So see you and bye. Thank you.